Young people, welcome back. BMB in the house. Glad to see you guys again. Let's see what we're taking care of today. Textbook learning objective. Write an equation of the line that passes through a given point parallel to a given line. Second objective. Write an equation of the line that passes through a given point perpendicular to a given line. All right, so looks like we'll be dealing with linear equations again, but more directly parallel and perpendicular lines. So it looks like the skill is still right, guys. But it's all about parallel and perpendicular today. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. And handout looks nice. Got 3 graphs at the top, a little bit in the middle there. Something going on at the bottom. Got 6 at the bottom. We're gonna take care of it. But before we get too far, guys, I do want to get this in there. We got to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines because there's something that you just must know. So I'm gonna pause. And first thing I want to recognize, guys, is do you know what slope is? Excellent. Slope is rise over run. Slope is the change in y over the change in x. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or swap them. Y is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Slope, 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 slope. You can't pass algebra without knowing what slope is, right? Well, parallel lines have the same slope. Train tracks will never cross each other. If you learned that in school, parallel lines are like train tracks, they'll never cross. Well, that's because they have the same slope. So if there's one line, and then there's another line, and those 2 lines go on forever and ever and ever, that's because they have the same slope. They're gonna keep going like this. So their slopes must match. That's it, guys. This whole lesson is about you recognizing that M is 2 and that M is 2, then they're parallel lines. What can be different is the y-intercept. So parallel lines have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. Let me say that again. Parallel lines have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. Now, perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals of each other, and we'll be pausing later for that. But guys, let's get this video started. Looks like we've got number 1, and they're giving us some information. They're giving us the equation of the line, and they're giving us another point. So you see at that point, we need to go ahead and write the equation of the line that is parallel to the one that's given. So we have to write y equals mx plus b. That is writing in slope-intercept form. That's what the directions say. So similar to what we were doing before, guys, we got to find slope, which is m, that's that first parentheses. We got to find b, which is the second parentheses. So all of that is what we call a setup. We're setting up to write the answer. The answer is just y equals mx plus b. What's m equals b? So 2. We know it's 2 because it's the same slope. Nothing hard there. Now I need b. And how am I going to find b? Well, guys, the same way we did in the prior video. We're going to plug in the information given to us. We've got a point, so I'm going to plug in the y value, -3. Then we plug in the slope, m, 2. I'm going to plug in the x value of -2. So -3 is going to equal -4 plus b. I'm going to go ahead and add 4 to both sides. So by doing that, I'm going to end up getting 1. So the y-intercept is 1. So I can really graph that now. You can see how the black line wouldn't touch the green line. They were going forever and ever, but they're not asking you to graph. They're asking you to write the equation of the line is parallel to the line given. And it passes through the point. So there we go. Number 2, nothing changes. Y is going to equal again, whatever m is. And again, they're giving me m because they're giving it to me in the other line. So, what are we going to do here? Well, I think I pointed it out. Now let's fill it in. Looks like my slope, as I look at the line, of -1x, or -x as they call it, but I don't know where it will cross the line intercept. So, same thing, guys, as we just did. -1 for my y. +1 for my x, and again, the slope is -1, so -1 times 1 is -1. Ooh, careful here. Ooh, add 1 to both sides, you get 0. So it's actually going to cross through the origin. Make sense? But what makes even more sense is my final answer where I'm not even going to have B because B is 0. So y is equal to just negative x. Or negative 1x if you want to write it that way. Right? But again, guys, my skill is just one step really. It's knowledge, knowing what to do, knowing that parallel lines have the same slope. So again, in this one where I'm giving the coordinate, it's negative 2, 2. And of course, I need the slope of the line that is parallel to, and that is 1/2 the coefficient of x. So jumping right into it. 2 is equal to 1/2 of negative 2 plus b. 1/2 times negative 2 is going to give me negative 1. And then when I add 1 to both sides, I'm going to get 3. So b is equal to 3. And that is all I need. They gave me m. I found b. I have a final answer I can write out as y equals 1/2 x plus 3. So guys, that's our top 3. And again, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down here, right? We're putting down that parallel lines have the same slope. If you were pretty, confident with slope, writing the equation in the line, this ain't nothing crazy until we get to perpendicular, but don't worry, I got you. So, the fun goes away because now I don't have a graph to look at, but I still have the information that I need. I have a point, an x and a y, and I've got slope given in the other linear equation. So, in number 4, as you can see right there, m is 3, because y equals 3x plus 4. So finding b again, y equals mx plus b, y is 2, m is 3, x is 3. You see it. I'm looking through, I can see it. But plus b, 3 times 3 is 9. Yeah, I'm highlighting, I'm not labeling, you get it right, but it's the same thing over and over and over. But hopefully you're catching on. So 3 times 3 is 9. I said that earlier, but it wasn't ready for me. Now it's ready for me. Subtract 9. 2 minus 9 is 7. No! Negative 7. Be careful, slow down. Keep your calculator handy. I'm not checking if you know how to add and subtract. I'm checking if you know algebra. So keep your calculator handy if you need it. All right, guys, moving on to number 5, considering this is part 2 of this handout, and we've got the skill down, and we're working on mastering it. So, looks like I need to find m, because they're parallel lines. Going back down, negative 3. Need to find b now, but b is not as easy because I don't see it, I don't know it, I gotta find it. So, I'm gonna use the also famous y equals mx plus b. All over this lesson. And it looks like negative 2 for y, negative 2 for y. Okay, label it in green, or point to it in green, you can write it in green. Negative 1 for my x, negative 2 for my y, and finally, blue, keep it blue. You gotta love the colors here, y'all. You gotta love the colors. You can pause, take a picture, write down, that looks good. Number 5 looks good, I just gotta say, it looks good. Almost as good as this Christmas hat I got. Alright. Guys, we're done. Y is equal to negative 3x plus 1. So, we're good. We're gonna move on to number 6 here. Swiggle her down and get her ready. And let's see how well I knock this one out. You know there's gotta be a mistake coming somewhere. Mr. Kraft, the bearded man from it, is not perfect. So, negative 1, 1, and y is equal to x minus 4. So looking at the equation, it looks like my slope is an invisible 1, the coefficient of 1. My b needs to be found by plugging in the given information. Y equals mx, and I want to solve for b, so plugging in for the first parentheses, which looks like 1. Plugging in for the third parentheses, which is x, negative 1, and of course plugging in for m, which is a positive 1. So in another world, a world where I'd be in a classroom, I just check to see which students will be able to plug in correctly. Do they know which is the y, which is the x? At what point are you getting confused? Because we just have to what? 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Add 1 to both sides, 1 plus 1 is 2, and you get your answer. Y equals what is it? 1x plus 2. So again, guys, let's get that out of here because there's 3 more of these that, as you know, I want to be here to make sure you are mastering the concept and skill, making you a better algebra student. And some parents too out there, you might be watching with your kid, getting a good smile out of this one, huh? So you don't remember doing this. It's okay. You don't need it. They do, but you're here to help, just like me. So let's get it. All right, guys, knocking it out. Took the -4 from the coefficient of x. Went ahead and plugged in -3 for y. Plugged in -4 for my slope, and plugged in 1. Of course, negative times positive is negative, so I got -4. Added 4 to both sides, and got b is 1. Boom, bang, pow. Number 8, same thing. Looks like I got a coordinate point of -4, 2. I want to write a line, equation of a line in slope-intercept form that is parallel to y equals x plus 3. I didn't even write the equation that time, but I don't need it. I just need slope. Just like I did number 7. But here we go, plugging in and being careful because with this speed comes mistakes, right? So looks like I plugged in correctly. Looks like I multiplied correctly. Looks like I added correctly. Looks like I got the right answer correctly. But I still got 1 more to go. Who's taking bets? I gotta get it right. All right, guys, number 9. So -4, 3. And looks like we got a fraction for our slope here, which is normal because it's rise over run. Even if your denominator is 1, that's still to be considered a fraction. Improper fraction. Check out a video. We go back, we take care of fractions. Yes, we got you. But y this time is 3. I don't know what that is. Should be an equal. Thank you very much. Fix that. 3 equals. Thank you very much. Parentheses, 1/2, parentheses closed, parentheses open, -4, parentheses closed, plus b. Half of 4 is 2, but it's -2 because it's positive times negative. When I add 2 to 3, I'll get 5. And look at that. Look at me showing the 1 step. Showing you that when you add 2 to both sides, it keeps it balanced, which you can do, which some of us is doing our head, but we show our work, and we got it. All right, guys, let's get done with this because I think we're going to get a pause in here soon because we're going to talk about perpendicular lines. And if you're not sure about the vocabulary perpendicular, I got you. My editor might even have some fancy little stuff to throw in here to make it go, ooh, perpendicular. But more importantly, guys, negative reciprocal. That's going to come up. But it looks like 10 is a word problem. And I'm not scared of word problems, and I hope I'm going to need it. I'm not going to read all that. I'm going to take the information I need because I'm doing the same thing. So there's the point. And I guess I'm reading it now because nothing's being written. There's the second point. Good. I'm just finding out what 2 points form the line and, of course, which one needs to be perpendicular to it because 2 of those points will form a line and the third point, goes flying through, towards, whatever. So perpendicular. Oh, wait. This is it. So, let's get a pause. But we can wait till after they're done labeling. So keep labeling. I like it in red. I like it in blue. So, let's big pause right now. So guys, we're pausing because let's go ahead and read this and make sure we hear what it says. Radar. Radar gun, because we're going too fast. On a radar screen, boop, boop. Most of y'all play video games, it's got a little map where you get boop, boop, and see where the enemies are. Yeah. On a radar screen, a plane located at A, 2, -4, is flying toward B, 4, 3, coordinates. Another plane located at C, -3, 1, is flying toward D, 3, 0. Are the planes passed perpendicular? Explain. Perpendicular. All right, guys, perpendicular lines are lines across the form of 90 degrees. So in other words, one line, another line, those lines are perpendicular. Even if you turn them that way, whatever way you want to turn them, it still forms 90 degrees. A right angle, right? So perpendicular lines have slopes that are not the same. They have special slopes. Those slopes are called negative reciprocals. Reciprocal meaning flip it. So the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. 1/3 over 1, right? So you gotta know reciprocal. And of course, negative reciprocals are just the opposite. So if it's a positive, then I gotta make it negative. If it's a negative, I gotta make it positive. As you know, we learn by doing here. B and B, do. And by doing, I be learning. So we're gonna keep doing this. No matter what it is, guys, just know, keep trying, keep going, and let's knock this out. So, negative reciprocals. What I'm about to do here, guys, is about finding slope to recognize whether they are parallel or perpendicular. And they're parallel if the slopes are the same. They're perpendicular if the slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. Let's keep going. All right, guys, so where were we with this madness? We were at the world of finding slope. So y2 minus y1, 3 minus 4. x2 minus x1, which we got 4 minus a negative 2, which ends up giving me negative 1, and then 4 plus 2, which is 6. So I get negative 1, 6. That's okay. I just need to know what it is. Now what about the other slope? So again, guys, just imagine that's a line, right? But 0 minus 1. And of course, 3 minus a negative 3. So it ends up being negative 1 over a positive 6. So the first thing I recognize is, guys, those are the same. Are the planes perpendicular? Explain. No. What do you mean yes? It's not yes, it's no. I don't know what happened here. I thought it said parallel. Don't worry. That was some good math right there. So, determine whether the graphs of any of the following equations are parallel or perpendicular explain. So again, guys, the exact same thing. You notice that the last 2 points, the last 2 slopes were the same, which indicates that they are parallel. So with this one, guys, is I take a little time as I'm doing the handout, probably to digest what's going on and what I'm doing. In this one, guys, I'm recognizing I got one equation and it's 2/3 x plus 3. So the slope is 2/3. Now what about the other line? The other line says y is equal to 3/2 x. Okay, well, the slope for that one is 3/2, 3 over 2. And there's one more. But that third one is kind of funky style. Funky style. When I say it's funky style, it's standard form. ax plus by equals c. I don't like it because it don't show me slope. I need a coefficient, and y equals mx plus b. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do the magic. We're gonna move the x to the other side. Now there's your mx on the right side. You still got negative 3y equals negative 2x plus a. So there's the mx plus b. Bam, mx plus b. But it doesn't say y equals, so divide by negative 3. Negative 3. Oh, don't forget. Right, you guys see? That's what I mean. You gotta slow down. That's the negative 3. So negative divided by negative, so you're positive, right? And I don't write it as a positive. And then, yeah, so that's a mess up. Let's see what I do here. Negative 2/3. I see what's going on. I like it. Those are negative reciprocals of each other. Meaning, 3 over 2, if you flip that, you get 2 over 3. So that's what I mean by reciprocal. These 2 slopes are, and that's what we talked about, guys, when I was referring to, they're your indicators. They are indicating what's going on, right? I'm careful about that last one. I don't even know why you wrote negative 3 and put it going too fast. But those indicate your slope. So as I was talking earlier, guys, and as we cleared on out of there, you gotta find the slope because the slope is gonna tell you if they're parallel, and the slope's gonna tell you if they're perpendicular. So don't make a mistake like B and B did. Simple though, negative is gonna happen. We don't look for perfection. We look for understanding. So first one, 4x, so it's just a 4 in front of the x. Next one again is in standard form. I don't like standard form because I don't see counting. It has to be y equals mx plus b, and if it's not, then you've got a problem, right? So again, with the last one, same thing. 4x plus y equals 1 is not in standard form. So what's happening is they're requiring us to use an extra skill. You know, we say concept and skill. Now we gotta find y. The skill is solving for y. First step, move the x term. Subtract x from both sides. 4y is now going to equal negative 1x. You know, negative x and negative 1x plus 12. The c, slow down, divide by 4. Sorry, that's where I messed up last time. Negative 1/4 x plus, and hopefully now we're good. So I already see what I know, that 4 and negative 1/4 are negative reciprocals of each other, but I still got one more equation to do. So 4x plus y now is equal to 1. Very similar. So it's going to break it down to just one step because there's no coefficient for y. So as soon as you move the x term, you're done. Y equals negative 4x plus 1. You don't have to divide by y. I'm sorry. You don't have to divide by the coefficient of y. You can just boom, bang, pound. So there's a two-step in solving for y and one step in solving for y. Again, another skill you need. But what do we recognize and what do we notice is those two are negative reciprocals of each other. I guess I wrote all over before I cleaned it up, make it a little prettier. But again, remember the middle part of this here, guys? The middle part was you taking the time to recognize when the lines are parallel and when lines are perpendicular. And they gave you the challenge actually of going from standard form into slope by intercept form. So going from ax plus by equals c into y equals mx plus b. Very, very important skill when you were doing this work. All right, guys, looks like more work. Write an equation in slope intercept form for the line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular to the graph of the given equation. So immediately when I see that word perpendicular, my brain automatically starts thinking negative reciprocal. So for 13, I've got a point, negative 3, negative 2. Now I'm going to need to find the slope that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use 1 over 1. I'm not going to use the slope that they're giving me. I need to use the negative reciprocal of it. So I need to do the opposite. I need to flip it. So there's nothing to flip. It's 1 over 1. When you flip 1 over 1, it's still 1 over 1. But the opposite of the positive is the negative, so I have my new slope. With the new slope, I'm going to get y equals negative x plus b. So we're still having to find m and b. If you're writing the equation on the line of slope intercept form, you got to find m and b. So plug in what they gave me. They gave me x and y. So plug in y, negative 2. Plug in x, which would be negative 3. And of course, don't forget about your m, negative 1. So don't forget negative 3. Negative 1 times negative 3 is going to be the positive 3. So negative 2 is equal to 3 plus b. When I subtract 3 from both sides to get b by itself, I'm going to go ahead and get a negative 5 for b. And I'm done. Meaning, I can write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals x plus 2 and passes through the point negative 3, negative 2. That's something right there, guys. As I box that answer and we get ready to get that out, I would challenge the student and say, what did you just do? I did the question, and what was the question? The problem, you showed me do it. Yeah, but what did you do? Explain, break it down. Again, there's no point of confusion if you can explain what you're doing. All right, so for 14, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to take the point that they give me, label it, if I need to, x and y. I'm going to take the equation of the line that they're giving me. Now I'm going to tell you the line that passes through that point and is perpendicular to that y equals 2x minus 4. And if it's perpendicular, it's the negative reciprocal. So what do? I change that positive 2 to a negative, and I flip it. So it being 2 over 1, it's 1 over 2 now. Simple. I used to do that in class. I used to literally go around and be like, what's the reciprocal of? And a kid had to quickly tell me the opposite and flip it. -1 for y. What is that? -1/2 for m, the new slope, right? Not the slope of the line that they gave me, but the new slope. And of course, 4 for x. Half of 4 is 2. Again, it's negative though. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Positive 2 with -1 gives you a +1 for b. And then therefore, I am able to go ahead and get y equals -1/2 x plus 1, which is the final for that one. And guys, we are repetitive, right? So here comes number 15, but of course, let's get this stuff out of here. And again, what do you notice about 15? I know it makes me mad about 15. Did you see what is making me mad about 15? Why? Why are they telling me find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to x plus 3y equals 6? It goes to the point, wait. Standard form. We don't like it. We just have to do that 6 times or a couple of times. When I look at x plus 3y equals 6, my brain goes, dang it, I gotta find slope. So move the x term to the other side, that gives us the -1x. Divide both sides by 3. And this is where, pause, got to, because I'm moving fast. And this is one of the places when I was in the classroom, can't wait to get back. What about that 3, Mr. Kraft? How does it go into both of those terms? You see you've got a -1x and you've got a 6. Well, 3 has to go into 6 2 times. And 3 also has to go into that first term, -1x. And it doesn't. 3 doesn't go into 1. So that's where the slope comes from. So, and that's repetitive. You do it so many times, and I got this little thing where you circle the 3, and you point to the 6, and then you point to the 1. And it's just something that I do so that you, when you see something like that, you don't get confused and go, well, what do I do here? There's 2 things up there. So what? So what, there's 2 things up there? So let's play it and know that the 1/3, the -1/3, comes from -1x divided by 3. And the 2 comes from 6 divided by 3. Got it? Get it? Let's play it. All right. So, got it? So, boom. That's negative reciprocal, as you can see. Flip it, turn it, because we can't use the 3. I'm sorry, we can't use the -1/3, flip it, get it around. You got it, m is equal to 3. So, y equals mx plus b. And again, guys, we gotta go get b, but you're recognizing the standard form to slope by intercept form to get the slope that we need. And it's much easier dealing with 3 than dealing with 1/3. So you like that you flipped it, because 3 times -1 is a little easier than 1/3 times -1. But you see it, guys? 3 times -1 is -3. When you add 3 to both sides, -6 and +3 leaves you with negatives. And therefore, guys, I found what I needed. Y is equal to the new slope, which is 3x. I'm sorry, which is 3. Y is equal to 3x minus 3. So, we got 3 more of these, it looks like, guys. And it looks like I'm going to leave those 3 to you. Definitely rewind. Go back, watch those 3 again. When I pause and I talk about that negative reciprocal and dividing by 3, guys, absolutely. Mr. Kraft is all about answering those questions. So if you want to see some more, guys, like, comment, share, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.